India as a culture has always had this like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It talks about one family. I think that is where we are heading once we form connections with ourselves. So stay connected with yourself, be true to yourself, express yourself authentically as much as possible, and stay connected with people, allow them to be their vulnerable self, and we all become one family. So it is not just me, my son, my husband. I think those boundaries will be erased and we become one family. So anybody can walk into my home, anybody can stay there, stay with me. So it's all one family. That's how it helps.
How detangling thoughts and emotions approach can support tackling with different traumatic situations such as terrorist attacks and global pandemics alike, like the COVID-19.
Okay, that's a beautiful question. It made me think. I think the first step is it all starts from self. In today's society, we have become increasingly disconnected with ourselves and disconnected with others too. We are just living, we don't know what's happening around, we are not concerned. And a lot of us are bystanders, which means we are just observing things just happen and passing by. So given this kind of a context, it is important that we stay connected with ourselves first. So detangling your thoughts and emotions will first help you to stay connected to your true self and also express your true self. Because once you start working on your thoughts and emotions, you exactly know what you want from each situation, and that's the clarity that is needed. Once we have that clarity, we talk to others without becoming reactive. And when we are in a happy space, we will allow other people to be. So is it not a bonding between two humans? When they are sorted and they are happy, the bonding grows, right? And that's how we are all one family. I think India as a culture has always had this like Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. It talks about one family. I think that is where we are heading once we form connections with ourselves. So stay connected with yourself, be true to yourself, express yourself authentically as much as possible, and stay connected with people, allow them to be their vulnerable self, and we all become one family. So it is not just me, my son, my husband. I think those boundaries will be erased and we become one family. So anybody can walk into my home, anybody can stay there, stay with me. So it's all one family. That's how it helps. It's a long picture. It's a big picture.
The basic question that I have is, you as a counselor or Trishant or Shivani ma'am, right? How do you guys handle emotion? Okay, do you get into these kind of circumstances like about the 90-second rule, or all these things? Have you faced it? Because the question why am I asking is, at some point during this call, I've seen some emotions coming out to you as well. I mean, a little bit, Dishant was a little upset because, someone was not sharing the video properly. And, Shivani ma'am was getting a little, upset as well because, it was not getting questions or not asked properly, or it was not getting ended properly. So how do you actually handle it? Because, I'm not telling that you should walk the line, but I'm just so curious because, how do you guys do it? Are you following it? Or it is only written in the book somewhere that people follow it? That's my question.
Thank you so much for the wonderful questions, Sridhar. I think that's why time and again I say that I'm a human being apart from being a psychologist, because, psychology is actually our profession. So we have learned it. We kind of learned it as a theory. But when it comes to our own self, it needs to be practiced. So when we actually are trained in psychology, the first thing that they make us anything that they make us do on ourselves, any test before doing on the client, We have to do it on ourselves, So the whole concept is do it on yourself first and then probably do it on someone else. Having said that, till date, I have my anxiety moments. I have my self-doubt moments. I think I answered it in the session also. Instantly when you asked me how much time is it going to extend, I quickly said 5 minutes. And then Shivani ma'am actually helped me. She said, take your time. It's okay. Let's ask. I took it. So we do have our own anxious moments. I still have them. And if you have actually spoken about the emotional expressions that get shown on our faces too. So that's the answer. I'm authentic. I don't mask. I'm anxious. I'm anxious. If something is getting stuck in the presentation, you see the expression, but the mind is thinking how can I handle this situation? The time is ticking away. I need to give the content. So what do I do? So it's all things together. So yes, I do have my anxious moments. I do have my emotional moments. We are human beings first. I am a human being first. The profession comes later. So yes, I do have all emotions. I do have them with all intensity. But where psychology helps for me is I have to understand myself, right? Only then I can help someone else understand themselves. So I do get triggered, but I do kind of settle down and work on myself. For example, I'll give you a simple example. There should be a lot of preparation behind a session like this. It is very challenging to bring something like this on an online platform. And when I was talking about Roshini Art Team, a lot of people from my own fraternity, they felt, Gayatri, you can't call it art therapy. You're not qualified to be an art therapist. Neither is your art team qualified to be an art therapist. So how are you going to do these sessions? That was a challenge last year, but today I'm making it happen. I had my anxious moments, so I dropped the therapy out of it. I said, let's call ourselves an art team. Our concept is different. We are different from art therapy. Why not introduce it to our audience? Because the whole purpose is how can we present the whole concept of self in a better way? That's the objective. We don't have to call ourselves art therapists. If we are not qualified, don't do anything which is not authentic. Do something which is authentic. So we dropped all our fears. We are here today in front of you. If we were stuck there with all the feedback as to how can you do this is unethical, I think we wouldn't be doing sessions like this. So we do have our moments of fear. We do have moments of our self-doubt. We do have our own anxiety. We work through them. We have to. And the same technique that we are giving you is the same technique that we apply on ourselves.
Sridhar, I'd like to answer your question too. For me, I've been numb to my emotions for many years. It's only 15 years ago when I've done my landmark course that I got present to that I was numb to my emotions. It was a journey for me to differentiate that thoughts, feelings, and emotions are different. Even today, sometimes I need to listen to music to actually recognize my emotions. Sometimes I run through the Pinterest quotes to recognize my emotions. So I do explore and I do a lot of journaling. I've been doing journaling right from when I was in college. But this session with Gayatri ma'am, it gave me more clarity and more ideas. I was doing memories journal. I was doing the regular journal where I write and delete it. And many of the things that she was suggested, I was already doing, but I didn't have a name for it. But there were many that she suggested that I'm now going to do. Do we have emotions? Yes, we do have emotions. Do we react? Yes, we do react. We're human. So don't expect us not to react. Don't expect us to be God just because we're sitting here. So yeah. But our reason, I'll tell you something. I was talking to my daughter's kid's maid, the nurse. And she was telling me about the slums, the issues in the slums, and how people exploit emotions. You and me are educated. We're sitting on this platform and talking about emotions and thoughts and feelings. Who's doing it in the slums? There are 150 slums in Hyderabad. How much percentage of our population is the working population? Who's helping them be aware of these things? This session from Vishwa or from Gayatri ma'am or from Roshini Trust is not about you and me. It's about spreading awareness. These topics, imagine a number of people who are sitting in hospitals which are actually related, which are being caused by their anxiety. Yeah, if there's any further question, yes, you can answer.
So I got the overall picture of what you wanted to convey, ma'am. But yes, I do agree. We have to go one step beyond from what we are doing, apart from attending these sessions. That's understood. But I also understood in a broader picture that you all also go through some deep emotions, which you follow in terms of your own techniques to curb it. That's absolutely understandable. I just wanted to know this, and then when I hear it from the horse's mouth, I'm okay. I'm okay now. I'm in a good state.
Okay. Thank you. Any further questions?
No, ma'am. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Yeah. Ms. Neena Kulkar, please.
I actually wanted to talk about the same topic, the slums. What we have now just spoken about. Yeah, there are many villages we have adopted in our organization. So I was thinking that if we can do something for the children of slums, because no one is there to help them. We go for a few programs just like we teach them, make them chant some Mahabharata shlokas, Ramayana shlokas, we teach them bhajans, we teach them many things like different games. I wanted to know that if there are practical games like how today was there, small games, I think we can do a very big picture for them. It will be practical also and they'll understand it easily. Because we also need that, and even the children who have no support from anywhere. It is we who are going to go to them and give them such whatever the practical work their madams have done today. 3 of them, they were very excellent. Actually, even we were not knowing that much. And we also learned from them so many things, new things. It was a very good idea of that quote and that emotions and thoughts together. Excellent. I want that there should be some syllabus, small syllabuses and practicals. Yeah.
You can teach them journal.
Yeah, right. And it should be so simple that no more languages, only by practical like pictures. Because languages, they don't listen to us. They don't have that much patience. So when we show them in pictures or we show them in some figures, they learn it more properly and they grasp it also. And I feel that slum area is the best area to teach because they don't get anywhere, anything. We can even do it in schools, but that will be a long process. So thank you. I just wanted to ask.
Ma'am, your way of making things to understand is very nice and thankful. Okay, from another participant, there was so much pain and suffering around COVID-19 period that to protect myself, I tried to avoid the news, try to stay aloof, how to balance between empathetic and a genuine concerned citizen versus balancing our own emotions.
I would just say that I think just from your question, you will need help of a mental health professional, to sort things out, because it's not just there are a lot of things underlying from your question or question to me. So please do reach out for that. Before you reach out, the second thing, always remember, whenever there is uncertainty, there would be a lot of emotional turmoil that will come automatically. But in life, when we learn to deal with uncertainty and discomfort and process pain, I think that's when we grow. It is a fact, but we need to process them. Only then we would grow. Thank you.
So just one thing I wanted to add to the last question. There is a beautiful WishwaTalks by Roshini Trust by Dr. Srilata and another psychologist from Bangalore. Please go through it. This was specifically to address grief in COVID times.
Dr. Sri Lakshmi.
Dr. Sri Lakshmi, is it? Not Sri Lakshmi. Okay.
Dr. Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah. Please go through it. It's an amazing talk.
Session.
Yeah. Okay, from Ms. Metonia, just wanted to know, is there any specific things to be considered for specific generalized anxiety or OCD journal?
Okay, for OCD quick technique, there is always an insecurity or a self-doubt because of which your compulsions and obsessions will start. Supposing if I think I'm inadequate or I'm negligent as a person, if I think I'm a very negligent and an irresponsible person, I will do things like checking myself repeatedly if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm answering things correctly, if I'm putting things in the right way. So that's where it starts. So you need to actually make it in a pictorial form to understand what is the basic insecurity which is triggering my obsessions and compulsions. That will help you. Only pictorial form will help people with obsessions, because these are people with extreme logic. So you need a logic to break it.